Kalala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles who taught me this truth. This is your brother Dawad, the real brother beloved, and this is only for the
elect.
Only for the elect. The reason you came around is because you thought we had the truth and that we was men of the Lord.
Evil. Pure evil. Invader.
I don't think we should have a holiday for it.
Pain, claiming North America as like land that could be claimed and could be taken. It's the start of a lot of pain.
Christopher Columbus.
I guess ignorance.
Oh my God, murderer, rapist.
Genocide. The atrocities committed, just grotesque. And the scars are still felt today.
Evil.
Evil.
Fuck him. Yeah, fuck Columbus.
Fuck Christopher Columbus.
That's a big fuck you. He's the first terrorist in America, that's for sure.
So according to the U.S. government law, it says if you partake in somebody that's stealing, then you're just as guilty. Everybody knows the United States was stolen. So therefore, all those that are original, that knows about the genocide, the rape, the murder, the theft, the putting on the reservations on a rock that they couldn't survive on, they're going to have to face judgment.
Murderer. It always was weird to me to have that day off in celebration of somebody. Like, we don't have a day for Hitler. But
There are so many other people that Italian Americans or Italians can hold up as their heroes besides Columbus.
Wrong.
Fake.
Fake.
What do they teach you about Christopher Columbus in school?
They teach us that Christopher Columbus discovered America.
What should they teach?
That Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything and instead got lost.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Shalom, Yasharahla. Columbus Day, which falls on the second Monday of every October in the U.S., is the day chosen to celebrate America's so-called discovery by genocidal maniac Christopher Columbus in 1492. The problem is Cristobal Colon, the cryptic Jewish explorer's real name, never made it as far as North America, and the land itself was already inhabited by the so-called native Indians, who had migrated to western shores in the migration of the 10 tribes of Israel to the Americas during the Persian captivity in 536 BC, well over 1,000 years before Leif Erikson, the proposed first in the New World's discovery, graced the Israelites, the so-called indigenous people of that land, with his presence. Incidentally, we know the Israelites had reached the shores of the North and South American continents thousands of years before Leif and Christopher Columbus, proved by the Paleo-Hebrew inscription of the Ten Commandments found on the Lost Lunar Stone in the state of New Mexico. The characters of that inscription were used during King Solomon's reign, and particularly during the time when King Solomon's expeditions to the land of Ophir are written of in the scriptures. The same Ophir theologian Benito Montano proposed, finding in the name of Peru, leading him to reason the native Peruvians were descendants of Ophir and therefore Hebrew descendants of Shem, the same Ophir Christopher Columbus himself identified with Hispaniola. Coincidentally, and rather convenient for some, North Americans, or Canadians as those south of the border vehemently call them, celebrate what they call Canadian Thanksgiving, to distinguish it from the American holiday of the same name. Their reason for giving thanks, a celebration of being thankful for what one has and the bounty of the previous year. If that description at all entails quote unquote our home and native land, lines from the Canadian national anthem, it is beyond anything I was ever taught growing up. The Spaniards, like the newcomers to the north, were nothing more than biblical Edomites. Columbus, said to be born in Genoa, may have been a citizen of Italy, but he was a practitioner of Judaism, Talmudic beliefs, and Kabbalah mysticism. The fact that his signature was in Greek alone should cast doubt on his said Italian lineage, but in any event, Grecian, Spaniard, Sephardic Jew, it is easy to conclude, given his treatment of the so-called indigenous blacks, Mexicans, West Indians of the Caribbean, natives of North, South, and Central America, people he referred to as Los Niños de la Indio, or simply children of God, his barbaric treatment of them proves he was in fact a child of Esau Edom. It is Colon and his conquistadors, many of who were Moranos, hidden Jews, and Moors, really Israelites who practice Islamic principles, who are actually responsible for conquering the Taino, Arawak, and Boricua Indians who we know today were Hebrew Israelites. Not only did they enslave them and bring them back to Europe as bounty, they killed and tortured a vast number of them, dashing the head and bodies of their young against trees and rocks, feeding their remains to dogs. They would tear the pregnant stomachs of the so-called native women with the sword, ripping out the unborn babies, proceeding to stomp their skulls and helpless bodies into the ground, leaving it for all to see. As if that was not enough, the Latin romantics would hang the tribesmen, not enough to be strangled, straw them, and then burn them alive, again feeding their remains to their animals. In fact, this very practice is reenacted every year, commemorated by the observance of what the world over has labeled a happy Thanksgiving. One cannot forget removing the insides of the holy day turkey, preparing a stuffing for consumption, before seasoning the bird to be roasted, then finally accenting the meal with the blood-symbolic cranberry sauce. This is exactly how Esau the wicked offers remembrance and pays homage to the inhumane treatment and massacre of his brother Jacob. And you, the consumer, in every sense of the word, thanks him for it by gorging yourselves on that celebratory bird, asking for second servings of its innards religiously. Something to think about on who you're really thanking the next time you celebrate the destruction of the 10 tribes of Israel, the so-called indigenous people, a la the statutory observant of Thanksgiving. What you should be asking is, exactly what am I supposed to be thankful for? This is 2 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 4, and it reads, "And remember the wicked slaughter of harmless infants and the blasphemies committed against his name, that name being Yahweh, that he would shew his hatred against the wicked." Kal halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Through the power and spirit, I hope you are edified. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Salutations to the election of Israel. Shalom, Yasharahla. Don't take that chip.